Hey crew, we're getting ready to finish up these sheet metal letters now. And you can see here I have my main K placed, and I have the 3 filler pieces all placed as well. Kind of the side V, the top V, and the bottom V. And all of these were made from derived parts, okay? So I had 4 solid bodies in my K, and I placed all of these solid bodies in a derived part, and then I put that derived part on this sheet of paper. That way the original file that started this whole letter K is kind of like a master file. And if I update any of them, it will then update the derived part, which then will update this sheet of paper. So just a little recap on all that. The first thing we need to do though, when you have all of your patterns down, is we got to change this bend centerline pattern. Because if we laser this, it's going to nearly cut that off. And we don't want that to happen. So to change that, we go to the Annotate tab. And we're going to go to Edit Layers. And it will come up here anytime. There we go. We're going to go on down to Sheet Metal Bend Centerlines. We're going to go to the first one, ANSI. And right here, chain is the current pattern. We're going to click on that and then use the drop arrow to go and select dashed space. That is what we want to go with, dashed space, and click Save and Close. And it automatically changes all those bend center lines. And now we just want to place our views nice and close together so we don't waste as much tag board, and hopefully we can use it as much as possible between your own letter, maybe some other people's, or maybe both your letters. You can put them all on here and laser everything at once. And I'm just going to squeeze these all in here. You don't need to leave very much space between them because the laser is pretty accurate. And that's one way. You can see I kind of, you can try different things. But this one, there, pretty good. We want to leave a little bit of space around the edges just to make sure we don't go off the tag board in case the laser's not perfectly zeroed. All right, so when everything is laid out the way you like it, we're going to export this all as a PDF. File, Export, PDF, right there. And we will save this K demo. Actually, we'll go sheet metal letters. There you go, sheet metal letters. K demo for video doc for laser. This way I know on this demo which one to get. Go ahead and save that. And then we need to start Adobe Illustrator. AI is the little symbol there. And I just happen to have that already rolling, so it saves a little time. Open OneDrive. I gotta navigate to where I saved mine. Right there for laser. Open. And that's kind of what we saw when we were in Inventor. Everything's still laid out the same way with the converted lines to dashed space. If this is the first time you ever opened Illustrator, in the top right corner here, we're going to go to this little switch workspace icon and go to printing and proofing. Check that box next to it, or just check that category. And you'll see your screen kind of flash, and it sets up your panels a little differently. And then we're going to go into layers right here, this icon, the kind of stacked pieces of paper. Hit the arrow next to layer 1, the arrow next to clipping group, and I can move this out a little bit so we can see all the names. And then right underneath the clip group, we're going to have a clipping path. I click right on the word, so it's highlighting this layer, and then trash can it. We're deleting that. And then I hit the little down arrow to make it sideways. We go to the second clip group, highlight that clipping path, click right on the word, trash can, which gets rid of that whole group. And now we have cleaned this up so we can use it. Clipping paths, best way to explain that is that they are kind of like a shield that's protecting everything underneath, because all these layers in Illustrator, all these are all stacked vertically. The lower on the panel, the further away it is from, so kind of like this is the bottom of the pile, top of the pile. And out here on the workspace, the top of the pile is closest to us, and the bottom of the pile is deeper into the screen. So that clipping path that was on top was just kind of an umbrella, maybe is a way to think of it, protecting everything underneath. And with that gone, now we can actually click right on things and modify them. I'm going to do the little double arrows there little double arrows to hide this. And now I'm just going to drag a box that selects everything. We're going to go over here to the weight and change that to a 0.001, enter. And then click off, and everything should look really thin. Well, it kind of looked thin before. And we are now ready to print.
All right, we're ready to file print. We're going to go to the 1164 laser. 1164 laser. And we're going to change the media size to Legend 48. So 11 L's on the keyboard. There it is, enter. That's the size paper we're going to tell the laser we're using, but we're really not. But so it works. And then down here on placement, click the top left corner. And that bumps that up into that corner right there. Now we can go do a setup. Make sure it's highlighting the laser, preferences. We're going to check autofocus and vector grid. And then our thickness is going to be 0.03. And we're just going to do a job type that's a vector, and that means cutting. We're not engraving, so we're just doing vector settings. And everything else is defaults up here. And our settings need to be 30 for speed, 40 for power, and then 50 is fine for frequency. Okay, big thing, autofocus, vector grid, 0.03, check vector, 30, 40, 50, and we're good. Click OK, click print, and click print again. And that sends the job to the laser, and at this point you get up, walk over to the shop, you load the laser with some tag board or rotate it so you have a clean area to engrave out of. Find your job on the list of the display. Use the joystick to go up or down and find your job, which will be your file name. So remember that. And we press the go button to have it do the work. Good luck. Ask for any questions.